And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is Kneecap November. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you've got a chance, go check us out on the web at Murdy Creative Co. That's MURDY Creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at Murdy Creative Co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us, keep up to date with our daily photos, and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or get a blank one on Amazon Prime. Also, be sure to use the Discord link below at the very top of the description to join our Discord server. We do a lot of great behind-the-scenes stuff there. We're going to be doing a lot more in the coming months, and we're going to be doing some really cool kind of things that are limited only to our Discord community. So check that out. Be part of that. We really do love having you guys there. It's also a great place that if you got questions or you want to get some feedback or you want to give us feedback, feel free to reach out to us there. We love talking with people there. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube shorts, and if you haven't checked out all of our social medias, just go ahead and browse the web for those. You can also find those on our website at the very top bar there. So today we're talking about November. And here's the truth of the matter. Every Christmas season is its own beast. It's its own animal, and it develops its own personality. It's got its own problems. It's got its own attitudes. And every year we think to ourselves, this year's going to go well. This year's going to go smooth. We're going to have everything squared away, and we're going to be good to go. And every year, well, except one, it hasn't gone that way. And I say there has been one year. One year, I think it was probably the Christmas of 2019. Things just went smoothly. We just had everything go run the way it was supposed to. Now, we didn't do a great job that year in sales per se. I mean, it wasn't bad, but everything went smoothly. So, you know, it's funny because last year we had just moved into this workshop. We had just moved the company entirely. We had redesigned a lot of different things. We'd switched to the Shopify platform. There was a whole bunch of changes last year. And so we really got just totaled by last Christmas. We got bowled over like a bull in a china shop. And one of the things that really I struggled with last year was trying to suss out and kind of sort out what of our issues were related to genuine underlying failures, underlying problems, and which of them were just related to the circumstance of the year, which of them were just related to the nature of what we had done that year for the move. And it was also the first year that we'd been doing cutting in-house. I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff that was new to us then. And so this year, we spent the first 6 months out of the year, working to make sure that we had streamlined our production in the workshop. We had gotten all of the bottlenecks taken care of. Everything was squared away. It was going to go well. It was going to be perfect. We'd gotten everything taken care of. And then I went on paternity leave. And when I came back, I had all these harebrained ideas about how we were going to change up the packaging and the product and the way that was going to go and all these different things. And it threw a wrench into the whole system in a very, very real way. Now, I don't regret doing the change. I don't regret shifting to the luxury because it was in many ways the result of a supply chain issue that now has been resolved, but we did not know it was going to be resolved when we initiated this process. And it was only resolved because we initiated the process, and it was only resolved after the fact of initiating the process anyway. And if we would have solved it the way we solved it now, if we would have had that knowledge then, we might not have done the changeover per se, although we probably would have still, and maybe not in the same way. And if that all sounds very confusing, it is. It is very confusing. And I'm being a little obtuse on purpose, specifically to I know, because some of this stuff is still up in the air. I will go far more into detail about how this transition all played out, probably in January when the transition's done, when we've nailed down all the pieces. But until then, I'm probably going to continue to be a little obtuse. But the truth of the matter is this. We are not quite where we need to be for November. And it is, as of this recording, November 7th. And you're listening to it on the 8th. So that's a problem. Because every day that ticks by in November is a big day. It should be a big day, I should say, but it isn't. Our sales, I mean, they've been fine. I'm not disappointed per se in the fact that they haven't been below where they should be for what we're spending on marketing, and they're not really necessarily that far below what we should be on a normal month, but they are way below what our November targets were. Now, we haven't been spending any more money on marketing than we spent every day in October, right? So we're spending the exact same amount on our ad spend. And we're seeing a lot better sales, which is the November effect, right? But we need to be doing a lot more spend on advertising and doing significantly more sales. We need to be doing a huge magnitude difference in sales. That's not happening. Now, there's a couple of attitudes I have about this. One attitude is this: if we can keep our ad spend very low and we can do a lot in sales, we can actually be pretty profitable even if we underperform on our sales targets. That's true. We're not quite performing at that level, though. We're not quite where we need to be to actually have that be happening sales-wise. Now, there's a lot of optimization that hasn't happened yet. We haven't nearly got the social media where we want it to be from an advertising perspective. We haven't got our ads dusted off and brand new the way they should be for Christmas. We haven't done a very good job, I think, promoting ourselves on our social medias, on YouTube Shorts and things like that with our videos that we're working on. We haven't had a chance to get a lot of that operations running. And so if we had all of those things running and we were still spending what we were spending on advertising, we'd probably be doing better, I think. But we need more time to really do that. Similarly, all these changes to the packaging, the changes to the process of making the product that has come into play to improve the quality of the product, to improve the quality of the packaging and all of the elements that go into that, all of those changes are coming. Most of them are here in some form or another, right? The factors that we have been wanting to put in, they're all there, but refining the process, figuring out how to integrate those new processes into our old method of making things, into our old way of doing things. It's like we haven't really nailed down how that transition is going to go yet. And we will. We just need more time. And so the problem is, because we don't have the time that we need, because we didn't really have the long enough runway to establish this change, because we did the price change and the luxury upgrade November 1st rather than in October 1st, for example, we really have been behind the eight ball at the beginning of this November, and we've really kneecapped ourselves, no pun intended. And I think that when we look at what we want to see happen, realistically, we've got to buckle down and make some real progress, significant progress on these processes immediately. We have to see before the end of this week a nailing down of how we make things and how we do things, because we have to turn the gas on to the fire. We have to make things better in November. We've got to push the numbers up, because we have been counting on this November a lot and December to be able to pay off the significant debt that we currently bear as a company. Now, I have no problem with the company having debt. I really don't. I don't really necessarily have a problem with the company having debt. That's a pretty significant amount of debt. That doesn't even bother me that much either. But the problem is that we are basically kind of at the end of our credit line and at the end of our credit limit pretty much across the board. We've borrowed as much as we really can from pretty much everybody at this point. And we're leveraged in a way that, for me, is uncomfortable to be at forever, because there's no margin for error. So Christmas, we have to have a good Christmas, because that Christmas is going to be vital to getting enough of that debt paid down that if we needed to borrow again next first quarter or second quarter or third quarter of next year, we could. And realistically, I mean, all of you are aware that the economy is the way it is. Because of that, we may have bad months, a lot of them potentially in the future, and we need to have the margin to be able to survive. We need to be able to have that extra wiggle room, financially speaking, to survive. Beyond that as well, the interest rates on all of our debt continue to spike and continue to rise. So having the enormous amount of debt that we have means that the leveraged value, the expense of that value, the expense of that capital is expensive, and it's going up. So we've got to have a good Christmas. We've got to have a profitable Christmas. And frankly, those two things aren't mutually exclusive, and we don't necessarily have to have crazy good sales numbers to be profitable. Right? We don't need to have that absurd volume if we can run on a shoestring marketing budget. So we can have a small marketing budget and a big sales, that's profitability. And if we have a lot of marketing spend and we have enormous sales, that can potentially be profitable as well. It's finding where that sweet spot is. And being this far into November and not having our feet under us is disconcerting. I'm not happy about that. And I'd like to see the changes that we've been talking about happen now. I want them to happen immediately. So I'm having to learn a little patience. And the team has been really good about saying, okay, let's work on this. But there's 1,000 things to do. There's an enormous number of little tiny steps that need to be thought through, and they need to be documented, they need to be figured out. And at some level, the documentation is going by the wayside, right? Some of these things, we're making these changes and we're not necessarily writing it down. Partially because sometimes it changes the next day, right? Sometimes it's too dynamic to really properly proceduralize. But regardless, we still have to figure out how to make these things something that we can repeat and do again and again and again. And It's all part of this experiment, this grand experiment that we're doing. Now, underlying, there's good news. There really is. The product that is leaving the door is tangibly, noticeably, specifically better. The changes that we have been making are good. They look good. They work well. It's trying to figure out how to produce them, to do those changes in a way that is brisk enough, in a way that is consistent enough speed-wise that we can actually push ourselves. Because right now there's a lot of X factors, and so I don't want to turn the gas on a machine that I don't necessarily know if it's running smoothly yet. But maybe it'll never run smoothly. Maybe that's just the part of the thing. So every Christmas is its own beast. And I don't dislike that. I like the challenge. I like the uniqueness. But when it comes down to it, there has to be some consistency that we can count on. There has to be some fundamental, foundational progress that is made during the Christmas season to pay off our debt and to get us situated really well for the next year. Because unfortunately, the business has to make money. Unfortunately, the business has to really make money to continue to exist. And we will. I mean, I'm confident we will. Realistically, we are profitable enough to continue to exist. I'm not worried about that. But I am worried that if we don't do well this Christmas, we're going to end up going into next year and we're just going to have to be smooth sailing all year just to get by. And I want to do new things. I want to do big things. I want to change things for the better. I want to launch new products. I want to come up with new ideas. But if you don't have the money to execute them, to some extent, you're just kind of stuck. But we'll do well and we'll get under us. We will. And the beginning of this November, despite the fact that it is not the beginning of this November, despite the fact that it is not what I'd like it to be, it's just the beginning. It's not over till it's over. And we've got a long way left before the end of Christmas time. So, all right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in on Thursday for that next topic. Don't forget to check that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get notified whenever we launch new episodes. Also, be sure to subscribe to us so you can get our YouTube shorts for those of you that are jumping into YouTube and enjoying that platform in that new way. If you have any questions or concerns about leather journal, binder, folio, accessory, anything else we sell, please do feel free to contact us on the main page of our website at Murdy Creative Co. You can also contact us via Facebook and Instagram, although we are a little bit slower at responding to those, only just because they're just not as watched as closely as our inbox is. So definitely feel free to reach out to us. If you have a quick question, you want to place an order over the phone, please do feel free to give us a call at 414-434-9001. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time, and that number is 414-434-9001. You can call or text us at that number. If you're going to call us and you either don't get us during business hours or you call us after hours, do feel free to leave us a voicemail. We do answer those. We respond to them. We work on getting back to people as quickly as we can. If you're calling about a specific order, though, and you leave us a voicemail, please do include the order number. It starts with the letter S and is followed by a series of numbers. That helps us identify who we're talking to and what we're talking about. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. Both a review on whatever podcast app you're listening on, as well as a comment below if you're on YouTube. Those are that's the best equivalent, as well as a review on the product itself if you have one. And you can go to murdycreative.co/reviews to read all of our amazing reviews. Most of our reviews are on facebook.com still on our company page, facebook.com/murdycreative.co/reviews. That's just where we had them for the most of the time. But now we are transitioning to Google reviews, mostly because that helps our SEO as a company, and it's also a big part of the Google ecosystem and making sure that we show up when people search for companies and journals. So you can leave us a review there. There's a button there that says leave a good review. You click that, it'll take you to our Google review section. However, there's another button that says get directly in contact with us. It is deeply important to me personally that everyone has a good experience with the company and the product. If you have an issue, please, please, please reach out to us. Give us an opportunity to make things right. It is important to me that everyone is happy. And so we will do our best, including refunding, recrafting. We will do anything we can to make things right in your eyes. Give us the opportunity to do so before you leave us a bad review, please. Word of mouth is the best form for advertising. It always has been, always will be. So please do tell your friends and families about the Murdy Creative Company this Christmas season. If you want to get a little something for doing that, you want to help them out a little bit, be sure to log in at the top of our website. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little tab. When you click on that tab and you share that shareable link in that tab, that rewards tab, to your friends and family. They get $10 off their first purchase, and you get $10 of in-store credit when they make that purchase. So it's a great way to get that little something you want and help them in the process get it for you. So feel free to check that out. Also, if you're part of our rewards program, you sign in on the website, you get 10% back on any purchase you make as in-store credit that you can spend on anything that we sell. So it's a great way to get yourself a little something. So if you have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I'm always looking for something to talk about. So feel free to send us either a comment below on our YouTube, send us an email, reach out to us via our Discord. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of us. Please feel free to let me know what you're interested in talking about or hearing about, and I'll be happy to talk about it. If you're looking for multiple binders, journals, folios, accessories, anything else we sell for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason for this Christmas season, please check out our bulk discount program. All you need to do is add everything to your cart. Anything you want, anything your heart's desires, you can mix and match to your heart's desire, and then you add them to your cart and you hit checkout, and the bulk discount will automatically apply. Now, there's a little something going on right now during November. Well, no, November, not December, which is our BOGO sale. Buy one, get the second one 25% off. Buy two, get the third one 50% off. And buy three, get the fourth one free. That applies to bulk discounts, and that applies to multiple versions of those. So if you get 8, you get 2 of them for free, for example. So it stacks. The discount does stack. So definitely, now is the time. If you are looking to get something for your team, whether you're looking for something for your small business, for yourself, whatever, now is the time to get that bulk discount, get that in. If you have any questions about that, you want to know more, you're looking to get a little more information, do feel free to send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co. You can also message us via the chat or the contact form on the main page of our website, and I'll be happy to tell you more. If you're looking for a custom engraved item, we have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee, normally about $15. And you can access that by going to any of our product pages, hitting add logo. It'll take you to the customized version of that product. Then you can launch the customizer from there. Once you've launched that customizer, you can upload logos, you can add text, you can resize, rotate, reposition, design it however you want, and hit add to cart. It'll automatically calculate the appropriate cost, and it'll add that to your cart as an item, and then you can check out. You can get just one. There is no minimum order quantities. So if you want to get your spouse, your loved one, your significant other, your enemy, a binder or a journal or a folio with their logo, their signature, something cool on it for them specifically, you can use that tool to do that. Also, just as a note, please don't use copyright images unless you have permission to do so. If we see that there's a copyright image that you're using, we'll try to reach out to you beforehand, but we're not able to use images that are not allowed to be used for commercial use in this way. So definitely feel free to reach out to us if you already have permission, or we'll reach out to you if we spot something like that. But I'm sorry, we can't do Lilo and Stitch on a binder. It's just not allowed because Disney won't let us. But anyway, we also should note that those costs, the cost for that engraving, is also applied under the same bulk discount. So if you're going to get a whole bunch of them for your company or for your team, it can be a lot less than that $15 per item. So definitely check that out on our website. If for whatever reason you don't see that add logo button, do feel free to send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co, and put in the subject line custom order. What we'll be able to do is we'll be able to create a custom mock-up for you of your product you're looking for with the logo that you would like on it. And we can create a custom order link specifically for that thing. That's just if they're not available through the customizer. So feel free to check that out. Reach out to us with any questions that you have. We're happy to help. We want to make this Christmas season the perfect for you. We want to help those gifts that you're getting to people be something special. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.